that's all the hype I think we need for this beautiful 5-game series we're gonna cast here. Ravi is way off and away on one of the cameras. Oh god, oh, you know what? feardragon, take us away. Tell us all about this wonderful player.
All right, we're going to be starting up here in the top left-hand side of the map. The first pick for the 5 Shades of Protoss. You know him, you love him. He is the member of every K-pop band out there. It is Trap from A Freak of Freaks.
Oh, yes, and in the bottom right, a boy with no with no core component. It's Ryung. I mean, what do the boys even talk to each other when Ben isn't there? Like, I don't know. Are they really all friends? Were they just each friends with Ben and he tried to make the group a thing? Nobody really knows. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to speculate on that for the entirety of this series.
Yeah, God, you know, I think it's so important that I have to say I'm free to just dumpster on DeMusliM specifically, but I really like Ryung. I can't dumpster on him too much. He's a good player and everything. So you know what? It's really just Ben that I'm going to dumpster on for this particular game.
I mean, you ask me, what's more important, the boys or elephants? And apparently elephants is the answer. The team should have been called Benny and his elephants, you know?
Benny and his elephants, my god. Oh, yeah. Too bad Ryung just not going to have that moral support that, you know, the backbone of 5 Shades of Protoss really has. We got our chat, we're popping off over there. We got everyone giving each other support and everything. Yeah, Trap, I think his PvT, I was talking about this earlier, and I know he did have a little bit of a rougher first match of the day and everything, but his PvT has honestly been looking pretty damn good. I think it's his PvZ and stuff that has sometimes been like a little bit scarier for him in terms of a matchup if you've been watching any of the GSL stuff, but damn, he really does still look quite good in PvT right now.
You know, you mentioned your team chat's popping off. It's kind of funny because it's actually fitting that I'm casting this because I actually made DeMusliM's team chat. And not only that, but I actually had to rejoin the group because 2 of the players didn't join initially. So I had to rejoin, and that's when some of the content piece I was telling Roddy about how I joined, and Prince, Ben had tagged everyone like, "Hey guys, it's Benny and his other boys. I made us a logo," and like Prince or Nightmare, one of them had just replied saying, "I like the picture." And I was just like, "Yeah, that's the most English Ben's gonna get spoken to him this season, and it already tops last season."
I love how all of the stories that come out about Ben's team, it's like the behind the scenes of some scandal about, it's like you learn the Backstreet Boys all really hated each other or something, like NSYNC actually had blood feuds with each other. It's like, what it's all been a lie this entire time. It's all been a lie.
I'm just also surprised. If Benny and the boys are so tight, should the boys not have made it here today as well? Shouldn't they have been cheering Ben on in his so important competition? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. I also love, I need to steal Katz's joke from the chat. Benny's boys are orphans now. Oh my god, they've been disowned by his team. But DeMusliM just didn't have any faith in the boys to win today. So he was like, I just can't be here for this. Like, it's too painful to watch.
Yeah. He got really lucky yesterday too. He beat me. He beat he beat someone else. Probably unimportant. Let's be realistic. Yeah. No, he had. He got a couple wins yesterday, got a bit lucky, so it's time the Protoss gods bring his team back down to earth.
Exactly. Now, opening up this game and everything, we do have like that kind of first adept scout that's been moving around, but Trap is looking to take a nice fast third base as he gets up that first 2 oracles to actually get a little bit of scouting information. He actually goes to like the stasis trap and doesn't really move super far across the map with his oracles super early on to try and get any damage done. He's actually being really safe and pull back with them until he gets up 3 oracles so he can start one-shotting units.
Brain's gonna get this adept, which is a nice little grab, I guess, for Ryung. I mean, like we've been saying, Ryung is a great player. We love Ryung. It's just we don't love the team captain.
Yeah. I mean, Ryung is really just held back by his team captain more than anything else. And I mean, you know, do we consider that maybe the boys actually just felt like DeMusliM's presence would hinder more than help at this situation? Like, maybe
he made up the tournament. Maybe he actually scheduled purposefully so because the boys are just like, look, you know, because
saving face.
You know what it is? Because yesterday Zest actually said, "Hey man, you didn't praise me in time. And I mean, has anyone ever come off an altercation with Zest looking good for themselves? No, so maybe Ben's like hiding a black. He's probably streaming in sunglasses right now. That's what it is.
He's covering up the tears.
Yeah.
He's got makeup on to try and hide everything, reduce the little glimmer of the tears sort of streaming down his face. He's just like, the boys don't love me. You know what the boys also don't love is losing a couple of extra workers over here. These Oracle's getting some really good work done. Trap, honestly, one of the best. Still, I mean, I think to this day, one of the best Oracle controllers out there.
Oh yeah, no, he's good. He's pretty darn good at pretty much everything he does. Actually, honestly, like I feel it. I try and think of like one thing Trap isn't good at, and I'm like, he's kind of just
reciprocating love to Gemini.
Oh my god, I'm just roasting everybody right now.
It's free reign, baby. You took off the shackles.
if we know your name, you better not be in chat. We're gonna take you down. There's no stopping us. Young is gonna move up here, and well, Trap kind of sees it. It's kind of a wonky army. Like I don't feel like Trap super wants to fight this, but he just wants to scare it off. He's obviously got the triple Oracle still lurking around, and it's gonna probably try and tag a Revelation here, keep some vision, and then Trap can kind of know where Young is at any point.
Yeah, it is important for Trap to kind of be in position and stuff. He doesn't exactly have his forges rearing away and just going ham on the upgrades and everything. He's playing catch up right now on the upgrades, so there are some weird things that can happen if you take a fight in a slightly awkward angle, or if you can have a handful of your units picked off or something. So it's really good he's been able to keep up alive all three of these Oracles and continuously just tagging these different armies with Revelations.
It's going to be a little bit tough for Ryung to find something in this top right, but I mean, he's just taking the Watchtower as well. That's nice to compete for, and he's actually going to get an Adept, which is just going to try and fight for Watchtower controllers. Yeah, a little bit of back and forth. Obviously, you had to send Trap out on Curious Minds. Were you kind of happy to just get Ryung? Is this kind of okay for you when it comes to the match order?
Yeah, I actually think this has actually been a pretty decent match order. I was pretty happy with how things turned out overall. Like, I think almost all the matchups, I was kind of like, yeah, I could see us like winning all of them. I think there's one or two that will be a little bit tougher for sure. Like, I think Mana was, I was pretty happy Mana was able to get the PvP that he was looking for and everything, but yeah, I think even that one, it's like possible for us to actually win that. Ooh, this is an interesting engagement. We had a hallucinate Colossus coming on as the Oracles are starting to dive on forward, but look at these force fields. Oh my god, locking in so many Marines. Trap is doing a great job with these fights.
Oh, Oracle on the other side got hit by a Widowmine, so only 2 of the 3 remain. Gets a couple SCVs, pushes back the army. I mean, this is fine. Probably could have done so much more with the Oracles because they were just sat there, but obviously he was busy with the army protecting, and just doesn't want to let everything die all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think Trap is still doing a relatively good job just by forcing back this army and everything, and he still got a vast majority of his army alive. Like, he's really barely lost too many units so far outside of, like, you know, the Oracle and stuff that went down. He's gonna be able to find a handful more units over here as a lot of these Marines are very far forward. The medevacs all getting picked off. Medevac count is still pretty healthy, but all those medevacs are on the south side, not actually with the army just yet.
Yeah, Trap's going to keep using these Oracles to keep up information. That bottom left army might be able to catch Trap a bit off guard. Trap has to ask himself, where are those medevacs, right? Like, he sees there's only one with that Revelation tag. It's not what you see, it's what you don't see, you know? So you just need to think, be a little bit careful, perhaps, or take it as an opportunity to dive and then believe you can defend after anyway.
Yeah, I feel like he's maybe not asking that question right now as he's clearing off the Zelnaga Watchtower. He's kind of taking his time, but now we're going to see the 4th base is definitely going to get canceled over here. I don't think there's a lot of saving this, but here we go. Ooh. Trap going to come running on forward. Widowmines going off on a lot of these Zealots. A handful of the Zealots do manage to survive and go off to the right-hand side and take out some of the reinforcing ghosts. Storm comes down. It is going to be quite a few units over here from Ryung with SCVs being pulled off the line, though, so he is going to be able to chase Trap back, and that plus the 4th base being canceled is actually a pretty big win there for Ryung.
Yeah, that was not good. That was just not the fight at all. The Zealots all hit the mines. The Oracles died immediately. The Stalkers and Archons were fighting the supply depot for a while. Just nothing went right for Trap right there, and that was kind of all on him. Like, he was the one taking the initiate in the fight. Like, he already said, "Oh, that 4th base is being attacked, right? Let's go focus on this fight right now." But it didn't work for him at all, and now gonna be in some trouble. Does immediate counterattack? What an EMP! No. Feardragon, this isn't how it's meant to go.
That is definitely going to hurt. He does still have 2 High Templars out on the map, but one of them definitely doesn't have energy. I have no idea where the other one is. This is a really tough spot. Pylons are going to be going down. It does have 1 pylon in the back that can still do some reinforcing warpins, but there's no zealots with this army. So it's just going to get dove upon. And Ryung climbing up so much in supply. I think he does, in fact, have this game.
Oh. The power of friendship is freaking unbelievable, man. Even when one friend abandons the entire crew, they just power on through. They're just such a tight bunch. Apparently one captain disappearing doesn't do anything to them. Can't believe it.
Apparently, man. Or maybe it's the fact that their captain isn't here for once, you know, that they're truly able to unlock their potential. I think that's the story I'm going to go with here, because I need to take stabs and wins wherever I can.
Yeah. Ugh. I can't believe it, feardragon. I want you to win.
Yeah, I know. I think everyone is cheering for 5 Shades of Protoss right now. So
I want you
the villains will win sometimes. And, you know, that's an important part of the story, right? Is that you got, what good is a story if the heroes come out ahead in the beginning, right? The villains have to come out ahead in the start so that the heroes can make a miraculous comeback and really give us that solidified ending and everything. So I think that's what we're truly about right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's a little unfortunate. I think Trap got into like a decent spot in the earlier part of the game, but like we were saying, that one engagement did not go quite as well. This next match, though, I think should be honestly a pretty fun one. We have 2 Protoss players that I think are somewhat notorious for getting a little bit weird and wonky sometimes. Nightmare versus Estrella should be a fun one.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. You actually have a lot of fun PvPs. We have some fun PvPs tomorrow. Do we play? Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna have some fun PvPs as well in our matchup. Looking forward to it, man. Gonna have some good times as we get ready to go. I was just trying to get us all on the right surf and everything, and make sure everyone's hopping on over. Yeah, so we've got Nightmare Estrella, then Zest Mana, then Maru takes on Zoun, which is pretty sick. And Zoun already had a great game against Cure earlier today. Then Prince against Neeb. You know what? Trap drops the ball a little bit, but still something that's recoverable, you know? I believe.
Yeah, it happens. You know, Trap is just, it's okay. He's like making some room for the other players and stuff to shine so that when we get to the playoffs and stuff, Trap can really hit his stride and not feel bad about, you know, taking some of the spotlight here and there. You know, it's an important part. When you're like one of the core members of a K-pop group and everything, you gotta know how to not just make yourself shine, but also how to make your teammates shine, give them that opportunity. So good on Trap. You know, he's gonna give some of his teammates that opportunity and everything, and he'll be coming back even stronger in the playoffs. Or the next matches, actually, because we still have a lot of matches left.
We have a lot of matches left, man. This is going to be our only time we're friends, by the way, feardragon, because tomorrow I really need to win. Like,
yeah,
my matchups suck tomorrow against every team other than versus your team. So,
you know, I will say something that I think you'll appreciate, which is I was looking at this during my break, which was the second series I was going on today. If you look at the top 4 of the current round robin standings, and you look at the bottom 4. The bottom 4 of the round robin standings are the bottom 4 players who came in the FFA, and the top 4 are the top 4 players of the FFA. And actually, it is very, very close to like Cats getting first pick, Cats being number 1 in the standings. Like,
you know what? You know what it is though. Cats really should have been 1-3 after last week. Like, he had 2 matches which were he was so dead in the versus Nate matchup, and then obviously versus Zombie Group it was like very close. But Cat should have been 1-3 and should have been fighting back. I can't believe I'm at the bottom of the table though. This is actually unbelievable. My boys, I was
surprised.
They're all winning, just not at the same time, you know, which doesn't really work very well.
It's honestly pretty crazy because I really do look at your lineup and I'm like, Beyond, damn, that's a really good player. Solar, damn, that's a really good player. Classic, damn, that's a really good player. Creator, damn, that's also can be a really good player. Spirit, when he shows up, damn, can be a really good player. I'm just like, your team is actually pretty scary. And I compare just like literally the name recognition and power behind the oomph behind each one of those names. to a lot of the other teams, and I'm like, no, I think Wardy's got a pretty damn solid team. But yeah, it's so tough, I think, in these best of ones where sometimes it feels like it's like, oh man, the lineups just didn't work out or something, and yeah, things turn poorly quickly.
I don't want to think about it anymore. I actually get sad. I feel bad for the boys. They don't deserve to be 1-3.
All right. Well, don't worry, man. We can just focus on how great my boys are going to be doing.
Oh yeah, go for it. You can start.
Okay. Up here in the top right-hand side of 2000 atmospheres, we have the 5th shade of Protoss. Or actually, I guess he's probably like the 3rd shade of Protoss. I think that's where I had him on the picks. We have Alpha X's Estrella.
He is absolutely going to trash the floor with a random boy with no leader in the bottom left. Nightmare.
He's going to be walking into his own nightmare. Estrella, honestly, I think can be a very scary PvP player.
Hey, didn't Estrella already play Dream earlier as well? So he's played... Did he play Dream? Was it Dream or was it someone else? I can't remember anymore.
I think it was... Was it Dream? Hold on. I'm sorry.
I woke
up
at 3
in the morning
today.
Beat
the Nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh my God. You're right. Wardy, I'm so proud. You know what? It's so great when we get along and you're here, you're making puns with me and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be so sad when this goes away tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It ends the moment I'm not representing Team DeMusliM anymore.
That's fair. But I don't have to interact with you on a broadcast after that.
Well,
you're just gonna be in the background.
I just say stuff in your
listening.
ear. Every now and then I'm just like, feardragon, and you're like, wait, who was that? You're like looking around over your shoulders.
Yeah. Oh, we got already an interesting little shape up over here. Nightmare going for the forward proxy location, which oftentimes I feel like we end up seeing a lot of these robos and stuff being thrown down in these PvPs when they're in the center of the map like that. Interested to see what Nightmare is going to be doing here with that pylon. As it is going to be a Stargate in this situation, kind of makes sense. It's pretty far away for a robo, so.
Yeah, Stargate and the Urban Nightmare known. If his captains abandon him, he's going to abandon all hope of Macaron. He's just going to try and cheese it up a little bit. Is Estrella going to drop his own Stargate down? Obviously, this can still turn out in a whole bunch of different ways, depending on what you go into and what each player tries to do and what their defense looks like. So really up in the air right now. Of course, Estrella has a little bit more of a chance to take some damage and recover with the faster base. That's where we currently stand.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice little shape up over here for our 5 shades of Protoss. Estrella just got to be on point about making sure you can defend against any sort of shenanigans, as that first Oracle is going to be on its way. What is going to be the unit of choice coming out of that Stargate from Estrella, though, as he did go and poke around, and he's clearly been looking around for sort of proxy locations and everything. He's got to be expecting something. Tell me he just makes a Phoenix.
It'd be great if he just.
He's already making shield.
Yes, what a choice, Estrella. Wow, I love the Phoenix. You know, it's just a really smart play because he's just looked at the setup and he's just said, you know what, the Phoenix is just perfect here. I'm going to be in a great spot if I defend what's obviously an Oracle. The boys are just so predictable. And he's just going to come in, boom, look at this shield battery, done. Oracle's going to activate anyways. Uh-oh, Phoenix, and now you got to recall home. He's going to get 1 probe. And he's not going to get 2, right? If he gets 2, he actually loses the Oracle, though, no? But he's actually just going to go for 3? Oh.
He's definitely losing the Oracle here. Oh, it doesn't even get a 3rd. I mean, can Benny and the boys truly perform under the pressure? The answer is apparently no.
No, the answer is not just yet. It's just going to be seeing the Phoenix coming in, grabbing an Adept, and you know, honestly, pretty good start from Estrella. Shuts down the Oracle. He's 8 workers ahead just because of the faster base and not really taking any damage. And Nightmare's trying to play Phoenix on the back of this, which is really almost a ludicrous decision when he's behind.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
He's just gonna lose the Phoenix. Oh
no! Well, he actually turns it around 1 for 1. Okay,
yeah.
good job, Nightmare.
Okay, but the Stalkers are here to support, so you can protect that. But I mean, this gets so weird, right? Because if you're gonna go into a Phoenix battle, but your Stargate's in the middle of the map, Wardy, like, you can't give up any ground at all.
Yeah, no, it's tough. Like, the moment you get pushed back is the moment you're just going to be losing production, and that's why I think it's a mistake. Oh, okay, that's good for Nightmare, obviously. Nightmare did start with 2 gates, so he does have more support on the ground. So he can kind of justify kind of holding that forward position a little bit more,
Sure,
and that's
buddy.
why he's been able to do it. Oh my goodness. And he's playing with my heart right now, feardragon.
Yeah, he's playing with both of our hearts right now, Wardy. The shield battery is going to make a massive difference over here, though, especially since he can also shield battery overcharge if he needs to. Losing those Phoenix definitely hurts, but I mean, at this point, it's still relatively even in terms of the Phoenix numbers. It is, like you said, kind of a little bit about that ground army that's going to be slightly favoring Nightmare, but I do think just Estrella having had the faster Nexus on the ground, he has a better economy and stuff. I think he's still in a good spot, especially with his gateways finally kicking on in.
Yeah, I'm just going to be seeing the Phoenix going to try and make their way to the main. Yeah, I think Estrella's still fine. He's still up 9 workers, man. Like, it's just such a huge worker deficit for Nightmare. I don't really know what Nightmare does to get out of actually. Like, yeah, these Phoenix can poke around, maybe try and get a few kills and stuff, but I think this is really troubling.
Well, Phoenix are a little bit out of position for our boy DeMusliM. Nightmare finally going to come forward with his, taking some damage, and we're already seeing that the Phoenix for Estrella, I mean, it might not seem like a big difference, but his Phoenix do have all their shields still up right now, whereas Nightmare has been losing shields on his Phoenix, so those Phoenix wars get decided very quickly. If you lose like 1 or 2 Phoenix early on in the fight, it really, really escalates quickly.
Estrella going to lose a few Zealots, though. I feel like Estrella knows he wants to be in the middle, and he knows the power of pushing back that position, but he's actually not been able to really do it successfully, and he's lost a few more units trying to do it, so a little bit rough. He warps in more Zealots, and I get that that's going to try and soak up the Stalker shots on the ground, but the Phoenix can lift up the Zealots so easily if they do get out of position, as what we just saw, so that bit I'm a little bit more worried about as we are going to start fighting here. These Phoenix of Estrella are dropping pretty quickly. Those Nightmare kites away, and Estrella is still chasing. Estrella does at least win out on the ground, so maybe that can be his advantage as he's going to start picking up Stalkers and go across the map with an army supply lead, and more Stalkers warping in feardragon on the left-hand side.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, this does go back again to the whole Stargate in the middle of the map. Now we see Nightmare is building an Oracle, has to cancel that, loses the pylon, it's not going to be able to produce out of that Stargate anymore. So, yes, right now, Nightmare did just win a Phoenix versus Phoenix battle, but there's going to be no more reinforcing Phoenix anymore. So Estrella even just getting 1 more Phoenix is going to actually be enough to tip the battle in his favor, and he's got a much larger ground force.
Yeah, obviously the super batteries here might make the difference for a little while, but let's see. Estrella is going to be behind on Blink if it gets to that stage. Phoenix are going to go for the lifts. I mean, Estrella's Phoenix should be fighting right now. This is the perfect moment for his Phoenix to join in, but they're just sat back.
Oh, that was really painful. I think that Estrella's still going to be taking the better end of the... I mean, he's still going to be doing okay in the fight, but this definitely could have been like a kill move right there. Really, really painful. It sucks that Estrella wasn't able to actually really capitalize on that just because the Phoenix, like you said, they weren't involved in the fight. And if all of the Phoenix for Nightmare are lifting, then none of them are attacking.
Yeah, no, that was the perfect moment to fight with your Phoenix. And the thing is as well, that super battery is active, but if you add the Phoenix in, they do so much damage to the other Phoenix. And if the battery tries to heal them up a little bit, it's just time the super battery isn't hitting Stalkers. Or then you kill the Phoenix and you lift the Stalkers yourself, right? There's so many ways that this works well for you. I mean, he's still in a great spot. He's still up 12 workers and up in army. It's just, like you said, it felt like that could have been a kill move, and he just slipped away a little bit. He is on a faster third and everything, though, so Estrella's still looking good, and Nightmare not quite able to get back in the game still, despite all of this.
Yeah, and Estrella still does have the superior Phoenix count just because Nightmare is working with the Phoenix he has left over, not really additional Phoenix or anything right now. It's just these 3 Phoenix sitting around, so if Estrella even gets a chance to jump on those 3 Phoenix, he should be able to have kill moves. Stalker's all out of position over here for Nightmare, so Estrella going to be able to get even further ahead economically. Not going to lie, 46 workers on a 3-base economy was already not a great spot. Now going to be sitting down in the 30s, potentially even lower. The Phoenix over here for Nightmare come home. They are going to be supported by the Stalkers, so they will survive. But man, even that could have gotten scary really quickly.
Yeah, Estrella's going to lose a couple of Phoenix now with the blink underneath. It was nice that Estrella obviously eventually shut down the Stargate. He took the Phoenix lead, so his Phoenix can be aggressive like this. Not the end of the world that he loses a couple again. This is starting to be Blink Stalker versus Blink Stalker, and you just mentioned the work account difference. Nightmare has a hole to try and claw himself out of.
Yeah, most certainly. Now, Estrella has that robo also finished up, so he can also start thinking about transitions and whatnot, adding on Immortals, getting up Destructors or something at some point. But for now, just adding on that first or couple of Observers, which I will note, Nightmare has a decent number of Stalkers, but okay, he's actually going to be catching Estrella at a bit of an awkward angle over here with a superior number of Stalkers. Estrella has to be really careful, needs to blink out of here, get back home to safety where we can get some faster reinforcements. I was going to say the other advantage that Estrella might have is having Observers. He needs to really capitalize on information gathering, but his Observers are actually just idling outside of his natural. Would love to see him get involved with those. Shield Battery Overcharge is going to be coming forward. Is it going to be enough? It does get target fired down.
Yeah, Probes are going to pull Estrella really serious about just holding this off right now. Obviously, he's still ahead in workers, and he's just been killing more, so he knows as long as he holds this, he's still in a good position. And obviously, that's what the Probes helping him to do, and he only loses like 5. I mean, at this point, they can probably turn around and go home, and he will send them back, but Nightmare has to go running, probably running off home in search of DeMusliM, but just can't find where he is.
Yeah, DeMusliM noticeably absent to support his boy in his time of need. He can't wake up from the nightmare, and it just keeps going, man. Estrella living out the dream as he gets up more Stalkers, more Immortals, getting up additional Observers that I'm hoping, yeah, he is finally starting to spread those around and everything. And I mean, there's actually 0 detection for Nightmare, so can't I even shut down the vision of Estrella right now?
Yeah, no, it's Nightmare's just been super behind. Like, at different stages, it feels like maybe he got back in, but in my eyes, I feel like he's been super behind all game. Like, early game, it maybe wasn't by as much, but for the state of the game right in that moment, it was like, oh yeah, no, he's in trouble. And like I say, there's just never been that one fight that's been good enough for him to turn it and change the ways that it's going. And now you're down +1, now you're down 30 army supply, 25 workers. Not looking good.
Yeah, Estrella, I mean, he's had some times, there was like a moment a second ago where both of them didn't have anything in production tab, and I'm like, Estrella had nothing in production tab because he was getting ready to throw down like another upgrade, add on like some safety measures of like a cannon in case there's DT follow-ups or anything else like that. Nightmare couldn't afford to make any units for a little bit. It's like a stark difference between the two. 50 supply lead there for Estrella, and I think he's already feeling how good of a spot he's in. He's already got the Stalker lead as he charges on forward, but he's got the DT follow-up behind this just in case he needs it.
Yep, everything gonna fight here as the Stalkers probably could just blink on top of this instead of blinking back, but okay, we're gonna play it very safe as Estrella. As the super battery pops, he's just gonna be careful. Nightmare still a little scary, and Estrella just wants to ensure he can get the 1-1 tied up situation here.
Yep. Stray even actually has a couple of those Phoenix alive. If you really wanted to, he could even take that little bit of time between the fights to go snipe off some more probes, but he's just gonna go for it now. Archon for Nightmare, not getting to the front lines until finally just now. Good focus fire on the Immortal from Nightmare, but the shield battery out of energy at this point. Good force fields from Nightmare. I mean, gotta say, Nightmare is making the most of a really, really bad situation, all things considered. Estrella not fighting with a large chunk of his Stalkers. Oh my god, Estrella, please. Please, please, please micro this out and win this fight.
Just blink forward. I actually think he's doing more harm than good by trying to like micro properly. I feel like if he just blinked on top, it would have been more effective, but it doesn't really matter in the end. But in a closer game, that actually maybe could have hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, I think at this point, I think you're right now, and he should be okay. Even Phoenix coming in to lift up some of these Stalkers. I think a shield battery overcharge will be off cooldown soon. There it is. Shield battery overcharge available. Go for it. No, just gonna tap out. GG. Estrella ties up the series 1-1.
GG.
Wow.
We get
so powerful.
1-1. Beautiful stuff. feardragon. I love it.
Truly beautiful. Truly, truly beautiful.
I mean, I'm real sad for the boys, and you know, they deserve it. You know, they've been abandoned. They've been left all alone. But the Protoss gang tying it up, I like that a little bit too, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you know, it's family comes back together. You know, this is like end of Fellowship of the Ring. You know, we suffered a little bit of a loss there. We lost Gandalf in that first thing. He was supposed to be the super powerful guy, but he's gonna be back. He's gonna be back later on in the movie series and everything. And right now, you know, we're getting ready. We have our destination set out. The Fellowship bonds will hold true, and we're gonna win in the end. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get there, but we're gonna win.
All right, well, up next is Mana and Zest going at it for even more PvP. Turns out when one team has 3 Protoss and the other team has 5, you've watched a lot of PvP. So,
you know, People keep saying like, oh man, you know, you have all Protoss team and stuff, like that must be so tough. And yeah, you know, there are some tough parts to it, but I think sometimes people forget the upsides of it, where sometimes your opponents may not want to play Protoss, and they don't have a choice. They're just like, oh god, which Protoss do I get? Like, sometimes it can actually be kind of nice having an all Protoss team. Like, there's no way to mess up the fact that some of your opponents may not want to play another Protoss player.
I'm just nodding.
All right.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm just nodding along.
I'm nodding along to their Wardy as we get ready to move into Glittering Ashes for game number 3. We're going to be starting down here, the bottom left-hand side of the map, at the top of the purple Protoss player from Team Liquid, and our 4th shade of Protoss. He is Mana.
The favorite boy of all, so much of a favorite he made it not just through one selection of boys, but through another. It is Zest in the top right-hand side. An ex-boy got picked back up again this season. His other boys are gone. Zest thinks that's good because, you know, he is the best boy and he likes being the best boy, but he was disappointed yesterday again. He did not get praised in an appropriate amount of time compared to everyone else, apparently. So there might be some, you know, disarray amongst the boys. Maybe Zest doesn't play with his whole heart behind it today. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the mistreatment of this team is really ripping them down.
Yeah, I mean, what are you playing for at this point if you're Benny and the boys? I mean, your slave driver of a team captain just expects you to show up and do the work. You can see that Ben is just busy, you know, lazing around, making elephants in the corner and stuff. Like, where do you find the drive and the work ethic to continue on with this kind of minimum wage situation when you know that you're not going to do very well in the team league at this point, just because, I mean, your team captain doesn't care. Even if you got some strong players and stuff, like, your kids are going to be coming in last place. There's not that much. There's not that much anymore. Like,
this team this team is built on being a tight knit group of friends, and I just don't. It's all unraveling. The knitting has been undone. They've been unknit.
In the chat. What up, Ben?
Hi, Ben. Would you like to defend your team?
Yeah, would you like to defend your team? Please write your comments in the chat because it will not be heard on stream.
Oh no, I'll read out everything you say 100% accurately. Do you have anything to add about the team? Any preparations you made for this match? Just a smiley face? Yeah, see how happy Ben is now that he doesn't have to support his boys? Not seen this man smile in years.
There might be a little smudge on my monitor, but I think that smiley face has a little tear in it right now. I feel like, you know, not doing so hot. As you know, I'm interested to see how this one's gonna go. Just taking a look at how the games are shaping up so far. We do have a very interesting choice from Zest, by the way. A very fascinating choice to go for the pylon block, which actually does wall into probes. This is like a Brood War level tactic.
Yeah, you don't see it all the time in StarCraft 2, but it gets brought up every now and then. And Zest, you know, I feel like what Zest was trying to recreate here is the feeling that he has with DeMusliM right now. He's trapped alone, home alone, can't break out. He's trying to knock down the door. Ben, DeMusliM, please come back, please. And he just can't do it, just whacking away on a pylon. It's obvious by his play that this treachery has really sunk deep in the boys.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are going for different build orders, so we should absolutely see a supply lead with these kind of build orders for Mana, but I mean, Mana's already 4 supply ahead. Should Zest just tap out right now? Frankly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just leave. Get it over with. Just leave. Yeah, go support your captain in
just
the
leave
AoEs.
Like Ben left you, Zest.
Just get out.
Mana's actually going to be moving out. This gets a little bit weird because the Oracle is moving across the map right now. Mana, oh my god, he's segmented. Oh, that was such a smart move from Mana where he segmented off a Stalker to go up to the high ground to look for the Oracle coming in. But the Oracle was moving a little bit further to the right than normally you would expect. So it came in from a slightly odd angle, but Mana was actually preparing for the idea of an Oracle. He already has a shield battery though, so he's covered at home.
Oh, Zest is going to try. This is a sign he wants to be a stasis wardy. Oh my god, you're accepted, Zest. Come join the team. Yes.
Okay, you can join the team. But I mean, is he going to be able to survive over here at the natural? Zest definitely going to be losing the natural. There's no way you can really realistically defend this. But I mean, Mana did not grab his own natural. Second Oracle comes forward, but the second Oracle comes in when the stasis trap is still active, so he can't kill most of the probes.
Yeah, oh, Mana, go, go, go. I mean, Mana's got to go, like, right now. Oh, he gets force fielded in half, though. That's not pretty. And he's about to lose high ground vision, which means he can't really do much else. 8 probes down. The Oracle's out of energy.
Mana did not put workers back on gas. I guess he actually has an excess of gas right now, so that's okay for the moment. Target's firing down the shield battery. That's actually nice, but it needs to make sure he's picking off these units. He's doing a good job picking off some of these units. A Zealot gets warped into the wall, and another shield battery is going to be coming on up. This is really tough. Mana needs to break through over here because he's going to continue to probably lose more workers if those oracles get up more energy.
Yeah. No, it's rough. I mean, he's got more stalkers warping at home. That's not what you want to have happen. Obviously, when you commit to this, was just straight up 4 gates, right? He just wanted to go and kill Zest, and just canceling the natural doesn't do enough for you because then Zest has the tech advantage.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Mana. I mean, it was a really, really nice idea and everything. He got so close to making it work. He's going to try and focus fire down the Void Rays on the other side of the map, as he does get one of them, but a lot of his stalkers very low on hit points. He's got 2 sentries. If he can force field his army in half, if Zest overcommits, no, he's not going to end up overcommitting. Mana is forced back, and now Zest has free reign to establish his natural again, and Zest actually going to go for the Dark Shrine follow-up, interestingly enough, and it's going to be tough to contend with, honestly.
Another unit that just can't be seen, like his team captain. It just sign after sign from Zest in this series. This entire game is just a cry for help, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Zest you may think that he's in a good mood and everything right now, winning this game or being in such a good spot, but really everything is just pointing to signs of disappointment and everything. You know, it's happening, but it's all with a tear in his eye.
Yeah. That's why he let his natural die. Just wanted to see, like, hey, look, I really am from a broken home.
Just see if you can feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rip.
I mean, really, is this the winner at the end of the day, even if he wins this game?
Even if the boys win this series, do they really win? Do they get a point if the team captain doesn't show up? Can I just put the point on my team?
Well, if you check in the subtext of the rules here, Wardy, actually.
Any match a caster I can't talk. Any match a caster casts gets them a point for their team. I mean, that seems like I get a point, no?
You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. All right. This is gonna be a very tough situation for Mana. We'll see who can make it happen. The Dark Templar are here, and there's no Robo or Forge. This might actually just be an immediate tap out situation here. The game might end in a few seconds. Oh, okay. Never mind.
feardragon, you're so smart. Which is.
I mean, yeah, there's literally no detection available, so yeah, little unfortunate there, but you know, well fought by my boy Mana. He knows that again, you still gotta have a little bit of space for that suspense and everything. He's got to show, like, look, I could have killed you, I could have gotten into a position where you were gonna just die, but look, let you live so you can tell the others what to be afraid of. So now Zest will carry on a little bit of legacy here for Benny and the boys, but this is where things turn sour for Benny and the boys. This is the triumphant climax where the 5 Shades of Protoss come in victorious.
Ben, if you're in the chat, do you actually want to come and cast your boys? I don't know if you're like, if you're just between games or something. Like, you are welcome to come and take over the boys. I'll fix the overlay and stuff. You can have them back. Just because, you know, right now I'm enjoying the current copy paste.
Aye. That is yeah. It would actually be great to have DeMusliM here if he's not too busy making the elephants and everything, but also just to have him defend the boys. I feel like we've been going hard on him. So
yeah, I feel like we've definitely done quite a lot, right? Hey, okay, Rabbit. I've got a question from one of our Kickstarter questions. Just quickly, we're getting this. All right. Game. This is from Granagan, and I feel like it's a great question for your team. Does your team have a natural leader in one of the players? And if so, who and how does it show?
So it's actually a problem that all of the players are so talented that they're all natural born leaders. So there was a little bit of a struggle there to figure out who was going to be the leader because they're all so good at it. But actually collectively, we sort of decided that we would actually open like an open forum. So there's no one dedicated leader or anything. I will say everyone's kind of fit into their roles and stuff. I think Mana's always been a consistent person in the chat and stuff, like cheering people on and making sure everyone feels a little bit of that support and everything. Trap and Zoun are there, like chatting with each other, but also diving in English. Like it's a very family oriented kind of thing, but we're all everyone's siblings. Okay, there's no like leader. In fact, it was like quintuplets basically. Like everyone's equal, everyone's even.
Okay, a follow-up question then as well. What is your team's tagline, which I feel like is very, you know, if you're all so close together, what's your tagline, slogan, or motto? From the same asker from Granigan as well.
We just work harder. We're just harder workers. All right.
Yeah,
and you know, it's speaking for all Protoss players, because you know there are some other great Protoss players out there that also work very hard. Zest works very hard. It's how he was able to win one of those games. But you know, sometimes you see races that don't work quite as hard. And we're going to be going into one of those matchups where one of our Protoss players has to play against a race that really just doesn't work nearly as hard as the Protoss players.
Yeah, I'll just before you introduce the player, I'll just share Ben's tagline. He did actually send it over to me. It was picked by the team. It's "Where is our captain?" followed by a bunch of Korean letters. So thank you, Benny and the boys, for your submission.
Shibal.
Shiba. All right, take it away, Ravi.
All right, starting down here in the bottom right-hand side of the map, our PVT sniper, the absolute legend from Alpha X. He is Zoun.
And in the top left, one of the first picks of the event, it is Maru. Can't really say much bad about him. Zoun, got a probe across the map. feardragon gonna get cheeky. 2 gated early on, Berlin grab it in base, and now he's gonna put 1 gate at the front and another maybe on the map.
Oh no, so sad. Your engineering bay blocking me. This is so frustrating. Oh, if only you had. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Big sads.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, engineering bay actually getting pretty far along, I will say. But SCV gets out of there alive. It's going to be able to scout the forward gateway and everything on the low ground. But how is Maru going to be reacting back at home is an important question to ask.
Yeah, because it is a bit tough, right? Because you really don't have the information that your opponent doesn't have an expansion. Like, because usually, maybe by the fact it's only 3 probes instead of 6 or 7, you know, you can say, oh, well, you're not looking to get the expansion down super quickly, so maybe that's something of a statement. He puts a CC on the low ground, he goes straight to reactor after 1 Marine. I mean, I feel like he doesn't really know, and Zoun's going to be able to put some real good pressure on.
Yeah, and he did a great job in the earlier match that he played in that same kind of PVT style thing where Zoun was facing off versus Cure, and not this build order, but he did go for one of those 2 gates without the second gateway being proxy. He's able to show how much damage you can really get done when the Terran player is not really seeing this kind of thing coming. Now, first unit out of the proxy gate is a Stalker, not an Adept, but the unit back at home is an Adept, so the Adept can get across the map very quickly. The Stalker might actually be able to just stall out the command center entirely, if not actually, you know, make Maru reconsider whether he wants to go for command center on the low ground at all.
Well, I mean, how can you complete your home when your captain isn't home, you know? Once again, it
you don't have a home to go back to.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. Oh, God, Adept shape forward. 1 shot's a Marine, 1 shot's another Marine, kills the last one. The 0 units out of that attack right now for Maru.
Yes, this is what happens when you abandon the boys. They fall apart. Zoun is kind of locked in the base, which might be interesting. The second Adept obviously can't actually really get across here. So we are kind of waiting this out and just waiting to kind of hit the Hellion or so as it pops, right? The Hellion, what do you go after? Do you go after the Stalker?
I guess you go after the Stalker, right?
Yeah, just because it's low HP initially.
I think, otherwise the kite ability against the Marines is going to be really tough, but man, okay, Adept finally does get picked off, but this is already so much damage. It's not even just the like actual units killed and everything, it's also just the amount of extra little like distractions and micro and everything, the production that's not really coming down over here for Maru during all of this. Adepts are going to have to be careful here because, yes, they are doing some nice damage picking off some of these Marines, but the Hellion is going to be able to get consistent damage off on these Adepts. Have to be really careful about that.
Not going to get CC finished up. He's going to try and become the new leader. You know, he is team captain, past caster captain, so he's the one that's trying to keep the boys together. They've been together from such a young age, but he's never had to have this sort of responsibility on his shoulders before, so that might just challenge him. But if anyone's up to the challenge, it may just be Maru as a Hellion gets in. The gate didn't block in time, and uh-oh, probes are being pulled, and one Hellion is going to wreak havoc in the natural zone.
Yeah, but the Adepts are going to be shading in on top of all the Marines. The Marines can't get in. Oh, no. All the Marines are going to end up dying over here. So, yes, the Hellion, single Hellion gets some damage done. But the natural expansion is going to just basically not be able to mine for a little bit, as the Adepts should be able to hard shot that down. They're even going after the supply depot over here. And Maru, he's got a Cyclone out. Okay, the Cyclone will be nice for trying to lock on. We'll be able to pick off one of the Adepts over here. I think Zoun has gotten a good amount of damage done himself.
Yeah, no, he did. 6 workers go down for him, but he's 7 workers up, which is fine, and he's on the way to Blink. Maru's on the way to Stim. I mean, everyone's actually just kind of taking along. I think it's a pretty okay game on either side, really, but maybe you get this Cyclone, and the Adepts can keep on going with this. He's going to commit to the Shade. He's going to have the Stalkers to back this up, so Cyclone being repaired. Maru now has a tank out, which should defend, but it's running in the wrong direction. I mean, there's more jokes we can make about that, but this is quite serious right now, as the Adepts will give high ground vision. The Stalker's going to move up, and I think he can jump on this if he wants to. Okay, Deeper raises, and now the Adepts do begin to die, so we'll get a few more SCV kills perhaps, but more Stalkers, and we're not that far from having Blink.
Yeah, I actually really like that decision. The decision not to commit to that and everything, and just say, well, okay, I forced your army back, you've given up ground, and you have all these workers trying to mine for the natural. You can't do that right now. Oh, that Siege Shank shot plus the Cyclone lock-on is going to be able to snag a Stalker over here. But like you said, Blink is about to finish up. And yes, the Siege Shank is still something you have to respect. The second Siege Shank as well. But Zoun has bought himself so much space and also so much of a economic lead that, yeah, his third base behind this, like, he's killed off so many units. He's going to Blink forward onto one of the tanks. He loses a couple of Stalkers in the process. Oh, not sure I'm as much of a fan of that one. He does at least force out a Stim, and I think he still can Blink away, but yeah, this is okay. That was a very aggressive Blink. Not sure I'm fully on board with that one, but I like that he is basically just now using these Stalkers to buy space and time. And also killing off the army units means that his third base is going to be even safer during all this, because Maru just won't have an army to really go across the map with. Yeah,
no, Zoun will be able to keep a lot of map control. Yeah, I'm going to say feardragon. If Zoun keeps playing like this, I'm terrified, because I have a PvT against Zoun tomorrow, and
yep.
Would really just like to win that one, so you know, you're scaring me for when it actually comes down to my own team. Like, he's been terrifying today. Beat Cure, he's in an okay position against Maru now. This is not done, but obviously it's been a good start. He's put himself in some great spots for sure, on Terran favored maps as well.
Yeah, I mean, Zoun has been killing it in these PvTs, man. He beat Kelazor also. Like, he actually had a very, very good game versus Hero, even though that was in the PvP and stuff. Like, but whenever we give him the PvTs, man, he looks so damn strong. And that's where that psychological profiling on the teams, man, that's where it all comes in handy. Giving them the right map. WarPrism gonna get scouted by the double drop. Oh, it's still in phase mode, but Maru didn't react, so he unloads late. Okay, WarPrism's safe.
He would have seen it if he wasn't wiping tears out of his eyes after missing DeMusliM.
He was too busy staring out into the abyss, and I was like, where's Daddy?
Where's my... Oh, God, Medivacs. Oh, Prism. Ah.
Yeah. Well, Prism going to actually be able to keep the Medivacs at home, which is actually really nice, since all the Stalkers are mostly on Maru's side of the map. You don't want to have to deal with that. And Stalker's already on the retreat as these Marines stim forward. I think the Stim's going to be expiring in a second, so Blink should be able to get him out of this jam without losing anything. Ah, loses one Stalker. Okay.
Turns it around, though. He believes now is his chance. He gets himself a Marine. Already warped in some Zealots for the counterattack, but there's a bunker, there's a tank. Maybe you, like, jump straight onto the tank. I mean, I guess you get the mineral on, you actually get SCVs. This is fine, too.
Friendly fire!
Yeah, blow some SCVs up.
Oh, friendly fire! Yeah. You know what? 3 workers. I'll take it. Even the command center's taking some friendly fire there. It's actually sitting in the orange. This is not sitting like the most healthy command center.
No. It most definitely is not, as our Prism heads up to the top side of the map. +1 attack finishing from Maru, and Well, our game goes on. Maru coming out of a little supply block for a few moments there as well, and yeah, I mean, I still like what Zoun's doing. Just a few zealots here and there. Now attacking up into those Colossus, just slowly improving his position. And by the time Maru moves out, you know, Zoun's going to have a lot of tech on the map to work with. Only thing that I'd really like to see him add super heavily right now is obviously extended lance, which he does.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very important that he's going to be getting that up. And I think all the army units he's been killing and delaying this push effectively from Maru is so important. Really nice that Maru actually missed this observer here. He actually scanned in the wrong spot. So the observer gets to stick around and sees the timing of any kind of move outs over here, which is really nice. But the other thing I was going to say is this is sort of that time in the game where maybe Zoun looks a little bit more vulnerable just because he is, again, like with his style, we've been seeing Trap and him going for this, delaying some of the forge upgrades and everything. He's finally getting up his own +1 weapons. And I think now that he's gotten the +1 weapons and start getting out the Colossus, like, scary time has kind of passed. I feel like now is the time where, unless Maru gets some godlike EMPs or something off, Zhao's army should actually be holding up again in a one-on-one fight.
No, I think so too. He's actually going to start moving forward, which is surely just a little bit of pressure. You shouldn't be committing to anything right now. Not into that amount of tanks. Not
Prism also loaded.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get the Prism in, and then maybe you can attack, but there's a Viking, there's a turret, there's a Cyclone. The anti-Prism force on the right side is pretty serious.
Yeah, and I like this. Actually, as soon as Zoun gets pushed back with that Prism, his army starts moving back home. I think you were right. He wasn't really looking to commit super hard over there, and I think that's perfectly fine. I love that his proxy gate is still up in the left-hand side of the map, by the way. I just realized it's still there.
Yeah. Maru doesn't know about it. Like, I mean, in theory, he should kind of know. But then I guess you could also argue that it's been such a long game at this point now. Well, not long overall, but since like that proxy gate was active, that maybe he just forgot to kind of go clear it up. Like, you know, like in theory he knows because of what happened, but he's also been busy. He's also been kept back, so that might also be a factor. But yeah, you'd expect him to have made a move over there, got the pylon at least, and just shut down that little bit of production.
Yeah, it's we'll see if it actually comes back to bite him in the butt a little bit later on, because it's such a nice position where if an engagement happens on the right-hand side of that third base for Maru, a couple of zealots being warped in from that other side and running into the natural, or just having any kind of run-by attempt, if DTs get into the mix later on, or even just reinforcements or something for a fight kind of on the south side, will actually be really, really impactful.
I like what, you know, the setup from Zoun as well, the Stargate coming down. That said, I mean, to give some love to Maru, he's on Ghost, he's going into Libs, and if anyone can play like a really solid late game TvP, it kind of is Maru, right? Like, he is so good at this sort of setup.
Yeah, Maru is infamous now for being so good at the ultra turtle mode kind of Terran. I think you were pointing this out though, like the Stargate and everything is a really nice move for Zoun, kind of maybe also just respecting and saying like, Maru is Maru as well. Like, I should be ready for a Tempest transition. I should be ready to get up some units, start picking away at my opponent, because otherwise Maru will just truly get into his turtle groove.
Yeah. Well, it's I guess really tough in games like this to break Maru down, and I mean, yeah, we're just gonna keep some pressure, but I think Zoun knows as well, though. It's just so tough to justify an attack in here with the tank count. Gonna be target firing units down. Those few zealots on the right side don't do much. He's still building up the disrupt account. Stargate's coming online. I guess we're gonna start seeing you know, basically how is Maru gonna deal with carriers, and that's always actually been a good question lately, because Protoss that build carriers have had a pretty good success rate in this matchup.
Yeah, and I'll say, you know, for 13 minutes into the game, it's not like Maru's already sitting with finish 2-2 or anything. Like, I feel like sometimes we'll see Terran players that are already on their way to 3-3 and stuff at this stage, but it has been a little bit slower pace just because of the constant back and forth little threats of aggression and everything. So Zoun gonna find a little opportunity to sneak into this angle. Not an angle you want your zealots to charge in from, but maybe an opportunity for some of the disruptors to move forward, snag a sensor tower, which is nice. Just looking for basically free trades here and there, but it is going to be Tempest for now. No carriers being added on just yet.
There's a couple Tempests about halfway done. Gonna see Tectonic Destabilizers coming up on that fleet beacon as well, and our disruptors. Zoun hanging out on the high ground. Gonna fire one disruptor down again, just trying to move into range wherever possible.
Man, the observers have actually been such big MVPs for Zoun. It feels like Maru's had a hard time actually finding them, but Maru is finding some nice damage. He might be able to do some good damage to the Nexus, but Zealot reinforcements show up. It looks like Zoun did pull back with pretty much his entire army, so that is a win there for Maru as he moves into the top right-hand side and is going to be able to find a lot more damage over here, even EMP'd on the Nexus, so no recall potential available. Probes will stay alive, but that is a good base snag for Maru.
Yep, really nice to catch that. Obviously, just good movement. Says, oh, you defend me on this side, well, let me strike on the other. Never just doing one thing, always working on multiple things here.
Well, I mean, this is kind of the time where Zoun finally has the tools he needs, where a lot of disruptors and also a few of these Tempests mixed in, that he can start being a little bit more annoying to Maru and being a bit more aggressive. Has to be really careful about it, but Tectonic Destabilizers is finished up. He's going to be able to do that extra damage against any of those turrets or any of those other little ground units, or ground buildings, I should say, that could be setting themselves up for that turtle defense. But Maru's army, a lot of it is on that south side of the map. It is in the right position to actually try and intercept Zoun poking around.
Yeah, Zoun with these Tempests, it's going to clip away from a distance. And I like the Tempests for this. I just feel like I do. I mean, I've just seen so many games where carriers are just so good as well, right? And so difficult to deal with. I guess if Maru's turtled up, you're not going to go head in with even with carriers, though. So I guess Tempest makes sense. You chip, you deal some damage slowly, and you kind of go from there. As one Cyclone is just
oh my god, this one Cyclone.
Just having a good time.
There you go. Yeah. You know, that Cyclone was on Warp Prism defense earlier on, so you know, maybe an opportunity opens up now. It's dead. We'll see. But yeah, I think Tempests are still nice, especially for just chipping away at the Liberators. I think that is like the biggest part about all this, is just chip away the Liberators and then kill off some of the missile turrets, maybe snag ghosts if they're too far forward or something. And this is like the magic number of those Tempests to try and get some good damage done. Ooh, this is a nice snag.
Yeah, get rid of a CC, and he basically stopped getting up from Maru is, well, for the moment, limiting him. He is going to start mining the bottom left-hand side. That's somewhere that Zoun might want to start harassing toward. But of course, Zoun sits on 6 bases of his own, so right now controlling the game wonderfully. And yeah, if he just rotates down bottom left and now gets that bottom left base, because so much of Maru's defense is still on the top side of the map, yeah, this could be great for Zoun, as he does eat a couple of EMPs though, but I just don't think Maru can fight this without the support of Libs and the tanks when he's got so much of his supply invested into that.
Yeah, for sure. Thor being added in is an interesting mix over here. It's obviously going to do a lot of damage to these Tempests from a very good range, but you have to be really careful with that Thor, because the Tempest and even just the Disruptors can actually do quite a bit to it. Now, Disruptors leading the charge. Oh, love the Oracle giving off that Revelation. Tags the Thor with 1 or 2 of those hits. But I will say, you know, Zoun having a hard time busting in through, and doesn't want to move too far out to the bottom left-hand side, just because, well, that leaves his top right-hand base actually pretty exposed.
Yep, this army is moving up the right side, looking to get on top of the 12 o'clock if possible. Just going to move over there. There's a couple of Vikings already being shot down. Guardian Shield popped up, and yeah, just going to try and get this orbital. Just try and push it away. And he is going to run by with the DT's bottom left as well, so he's actually going to get that base bottom left. Great play by Zoun.
Yeah, all of those ghosts, I think all the ghosts just actually popped to a disruptor. There's only 4 ghosts left over now. Yeah, there were, I swear to God, there were like 8 or 9 ghosts, and now there are 4. So
yeah, a lot happened all at once.
Yeah. That's the master that's Zoun, man. He can even out multitask Maru, the legendary Maru a bit. Now he's going to be able to snag a denial on this base yet again, on top of the denial of the south base. I mean, this effectively reduces Maru back down to the 4 base economy, but it's not actually 4 base. It's really like 2.5, because his main base is mined out, his natural is nearly mined out. Even his 3rd base is actually just going to be looking pretty dry now.
Swift the shots. Again, just doing a little bit. We get rid of this top base. Maru really is going to be in trouble with Eco if this keeps up. And, well, yeah, Disruptor's going to hit on some SCVs that were surrounding the Thor. The Thor got evacuated, but the SCVs did not. And Zoun just very comfortable with his trades right now. Trading well, too, right? I mean, 14k to 10k, and he's mining so much more and has been basically forever. Yeah. EMP comes out on the Oracle, which is a nice move there from Maru, but the Oracle still stays alive, so it's going to eventually regenerate hit energy and be able to throw out some Revelations if it stays alive a little longer.
But yeah, just even losing the missile turrets and stuff, it's going to start being costly because yes, Maru still has some mining right now, but if Maru can't take a 5th base, if he can never establish a 5th base, all of these resources are really going to start mattering as he starts mining out more and more.
Absolutely. As we come forward, we get rid of another ghost, and again, these Tempests just keep on getting kill after kill at the moment here. The Thors are scary, but that's what the Disruptors are for as well, right? The Disruptor's actually really good against Thors because typically Thors can't move out of the way of Disruptor shots, so there's only so much you can do there. And yeah, the Disruptor usage has been really good so far.
Yeah, I mean, just it's long-range sieging. Like, this is the picture of what people say you need to do. Okay, well, this is getting a little bit dicey over here as the retreat path. A bit rough. Some storms coming out with some High Templars from way, way far downtown. One High Templar does manage to keep its energy alive without getting EMP'd, and it kills off a vast majority of those ghosts on the front line with that disruptor shot. So I think things still okay with Zoun just because he has such a ridiculous bank. But this has definitely gotten a little bit dicier. He goes for an aggressive blink forward and kills off a lot more of the bio over here. I think at this point, Zoun is just saying, if I deny this base, you don't have mining, you can't replenish these units. I can. I have been mining healthily this entire time.
Yeah, he absolutely knows that this base is super important and is basically a game changer. So he's going to keep on playing around it. Yeah, the DTs have been there for a while, and the natural just going wild. They killed a few SCVs, and yeah, Maru's just, he doesn't have the economy to really rebuild back up, especially if this base stays under fire. And now Zoun is taking the chance to move into carriers, which I like because I think a lot of the setup from Maru has been broken down, and the carriers really can just get to an overwhelming point now.
I like the Thor drop micro from Maru to dodge the... Thors are very slow and clunky. They're not great at dodging disruptor hits. So using the medevacs to just pick up the Thors is actually a really nice little maneuver here. Although you do have to be careful about the... I'm really afraid for the moment that Maru tries to pick up the Thors to dodge the disruptor hit, and then the medevacs pick them up, and the Tempest just right-click down the medevac with the Thor inside. That's what I'm waiting for, man.
Okay, Rami, I'm a Terran fan. I can't quite get fully behind that with you, you know, like... okay. I know I'm anti-DeMusliM today, but that's a little bit too much for me.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. You know, Maru, I gotta say, all things considered, he is obviously very far behind right now. He has really been hanging in there. He's still very close to maxed out. His army supply is still scary and everything. I don't think he's down and out just yet. I think he is very close to having to tap out, but he still has a fighting chance in this right now.
Yeah, he needs this next fight to basically go very well. Like, he's got equal army supplies. That was a good set of EMPs. He's got equal army supplies, so if he can win one fight and just go, and I mean, he is defending this base. I kind of like to see Zoun like take the bottom. He is actually going to take the bottom left now, but I feel like he could have done that a while ago. No, he's had such control now. He's made no move outs for a long time.
Even his carrier count is like, it's just sitting at that. It's kind of stagnated at 2. He's not even making more carriers right now. He's making more disruptors and tempests. So his carrier count isn't even really going to get to like the critical mass carrier count. It's just going to be the kind of supporting carriers, which I'm sort of neither here nor there about. This is a nice little maneuver, kind of moving out of position. So a lot of these slow immobile units have to get into a new spot to try and help defend. All of the siege tanks are left basically sieged up. Recall forced out over here, though. Zoun taking quite a few losses there.
Does Maru just have to charge across the map now? I think he has to, right? Like,
surely, right? Yeah, but I don't think he can, right? Like, he needs some of those other units. Like, he needs the Thor, or sorry, not the Thors, but he needs like the siege tanks and everything. Oh, disruptors coming in from the north is not great.
Zoun has less army supply right now, so this is actually a scary fight if it does break out. Of course, he has a lot more money, so he can rebuild very easily, as he does take a good fight on the left side, obviously basically taking the fight against half the army. And now these Thors are going to be kind of on their own, and this is where they shouldn't be as strong. Victor Zel's trying to get in the front. His sound supply is still dropping. He has a huge round of Zelts on the right side, though, going to clean up a bunch of tanks. Tempests have to go running. Medevac still being shot at in the attempt to get away with the Thors. Oh, feardragon, I thought you might have been about to have your moment there.
No, I think truly this is still just Zoun's game to lose. He's still got a good bank going, and his reinforcements are going to come a lot faster than Maru's. Yes, Maru is going to have the defender's advantage. His units are going to be there because, you know, his units are coming out back at home, but Zoun can basically, just use this warp prism and warp in big rounds of units, and then he can continue the fight a lot faster thanks to his bank as well. Maru is still waiting on gas to come out to get up additional rounds of reinforcements and stuff. I'm still impressed with how large Maru's army is, but I think he's still now in a tough spot where he's down 30-40 army supply and is going to have to make sure he's in position to help defend against the next wave, which is actually going to hit the bottom left this time.
All these DTs on the right side, by the way, going to just go onto this army that was walking by. So many DTs, and then you find on the left. We've not seen a lot of DTs simply because Maru's been so turtled up, it's not been efficient or effective to use them. DTs are great if the Terran's moving out on the map, but obviously that's just not been happening here.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed this, Wardy, but all of the missile turrets of the left-hand base have been knocked out. So there is an opportunity for the DT run-by to hit there. And I mean, even the Liberator and everything is gone. DTs might just go for the other location yet again, but that will be a little bit risky. Disruptors finding yet another tank. Maru, how much gas does he even have? Like, his bottom left-hand base has maybe 450, 500 gas or something left. He has gas, basically almost all of the gas that Maru's gonna mine is just from that top center base. Like, if he loses that, he doesn't really have gas income anymore.
Yeah, I think he might just lose. I was gonna say the game right here, but actually he does flank a little bit. Now some disruptors do land some shots though. The problem is, even if he fights back, Zoun has a bank, and Zoun has bases, which Maru's never even thought about taking in this game. Is he up? DT's top right. Gonna take down a base, gonna take down SCV. Zoun keeping the 5 Shades of Protoss alive with the win against Maru, it would seem. Let's go to an ace match apparently as well. Tempests are dying, but I don't think it really matters, as our units will chase down. Oh no, the Thor's got out.
So close. So close.
Nelly.
You know what? I'm okay. We'll spare the pain for that there. Zoun tying up the series 2-2. The PVT god, the PVT legend there. Maru tried his best, but unfortunately, there is still no captain of the household. The household for the Benny and the boys is still going to be fatherless. And how are they really going to be able to muster up the strength they need to take it to an ace match here, when there's really just no head of the household? There's no tight-knit community or family anymore.
There's nothing. We've been asking this question for days, and the answer is just there is nothing. Yeah, Benny and the boys are Benny and the pieces, or the boys are torn to pieces. There's no Benny, put it that way. That is for sure.
Yeah,
no Benny at all. All right, so it's Neeb Prince up next. How do you feel for the final map then?
I'm actually feeling good. So I know that Neeb, like, you know, War Chest Team League, he'll be the first person to say, like, had a bit of a rougher start and everything. But Neeb, even though I think last week was a little bit of a rough like day for us, we had like a rough start and everything. Neeb's PvP is damn good. All right, he's damn good at PvP. He's like a player who can beat some of the top Protoss players in the world, like whether it be some of the Europeans like Showtime and stuff, whether it be some of the Koreans and everything. Like, Neeb honestly looks really good, I think, in PvP. So I'm actually pretty hype about this. Prince, he's an underdog, all right? Like, in general, I look at Prince and I think he is like an underdog in the scene, not just like against a particular player, but like I kind of think of him as an underdog. So you know what? I've got a little bit of a worry here, tiny little worry, because I think Prince is actually a good player. He's like an underrated player. He's a good snag for Benny and the boys. But this is gonna be a fun match. I can feel it.
Actually, this is pretty sick that it's gone down to an ace match twice in a row for you today, right? So it's
yeah, man,
it's nice. This is time for you to go 2-2. Stay ahead of the stasis wardies. No comment there. Stasis wardies are in disarray right now. We're not looking pretty, but 5 Shades of Protoss are looking potentially very good if you win this feardragon. One more to play today.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there is a chance that at the end of the day we could be like in the top 3 or so.
Yeah,
it should be pretty sick. Yeah,
go 3-2. Yeah, top 3. That's actually really sick if you get to top 3, right? All right.
Yeah, and I don't even think that our final match, like I think the final match will be. It's like very 50-50. I think it could definitely go either way.
Well, in the bottom left-hand side, I'm going to introduce the boy that used to be led by Benny. It is Prince.
And up at the top right-hand side, we have our purple Protoss player going to take us home. He is Neeb. Oh man, okay. We do have a gateway coming out over here for Prince. I'm looking at our chat and I see Estrella being like, "Take us home, Alex." By the way, I'm sure you know, but Prince likes the cannon rush, and I'm like, okay, gateway's coming down. We're good.
Mm-hmm. Double gates on each side. No cannon rushing here for Hardwire. Oh, Prince has looked okay in some PvPs as well. He took down Mastasis Wardy Creator yesterday. I feel like for Neeb, if you can get past like 6, 7, 8 minutes, I feel like that's when Neeb is like really good, you know, and in this matchup especially. And not that he's bad before then, it's just PvP is a little bit more roll of the dice before then, you know, it can be a dangerous matchup. It's not roll of the dice, but it's volatile. But once you get later on, I really do like Neeb as a player in that mid-game, late-game PvP.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's been true to Neeb as a player in general, right? Like, he's always been, ever since basically he came up in the scene, he's always been one of the players that the longer the game goes on, probably usually the more comfortable Neeb ends up feeling more often than not. He's been a solid standard macro player and everything. And it's always been a little bit of something that everyone has to respect against him, even in matchups like PvP and everything. So I think I do want to, like you said, though, give some credit to Prince. I think he has definitely been on the up and everything. He's been impressing a lot of people over the last like couple of years and everything. And especially lately, he has been doing really well in PvP. I think he's got what it takes to put the aggression on earlier, I think, in the game.
Oh, yeah. No, he definitely does. Yeah, if I was in your shoes, I'd be quaking for the first few moments. But like I say, the longer it goes, the better I feel. I like the Stargate opening. Safe, right? You know, 2-gate Stargates. Gonna drop a Nexus down, and Prince is just gonna be getting a couple of Adepts and Nexus of his own. But obviously, no tech from him yet.
Yeah, Neeb went for the safer Stalker Sentry. This is like the tried and true, just middle of the road. I got a little bit of firepower. I got some fast scouting information with that hallucinate Phoenix potential. And he's going to go ahead and hallucinate that first Phoenix, send it across the map, and he'll see, yes, okay, Prince going for a lot of Adepts and got up a natural expansion Nexus. And, ooh, the timing of this Phoenix is actually, is it going to see 5th and 6th Adepts popping on out? I mean, there's nothing to stop the Phoenix from sticking around and seeing it.
You can just sit above the gateways and get that information, which is really nice, obviously, if you do know it's Adepts. Especially because he's got an Oracle on the way, right? Because that's going to set him up nicely as, Prince going to proxy up a Twilight in the corner.
Okay. Well, you know, it's something I'm hoping Neeb should already know. Like, when there's a lot of Adepts, there's going to be definitely a dearth of gas that's kind of like unaccounted for, because the Adepts really don't cost that much gas, right? So Oracle comes forward, it spots out the Adepts, it's gonna start whittling away at some of them. It should be able to pick off 1, maybe even 2 or 3 of them. As he starts to focus fire down, another one of these Adepts softens up another one of them. And these Adepts aren't even actually in Neeb's base just yet. And Neeb can just say, yeah, I'm not gonna actually send my workers to the natural. Okay, he's gonna send his workers to the natural anyways. All right, bold move, Neeb. I believe in you though.
No, I think it's fine, because if the Adepts commit in, the Probes just run, and then all those Adepts done, you've got an immediate counterattack with double Oracle and a bunch of Stalkers.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is obviously Neeb has double Oracle, so he does have detection available against the incoming proxied up Dark Shrine in that bottom corner. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, and the Oracles can be out of position, but there's nothing that can kill those Oracles from Prince, really. So Neeb is sort of guaranteed to have them alive, at least, as this time the Adepts do get by, but 2 Probes, you're going to start losing Adepts. I don't hate it for you, feardragon.
Yeah, no, I actually think that was a solid defense. I think the Adepts even missed a volley. They went off on the Stalker instead of any of the Probes. So 2 workers going down in exchange for all those Adepts.
Probes just being lasered in the main base. Once again, you leave your boys alone and they fall apart. And that's what happened to Prince's Probes. It's what happened to DeMusliM's boys. And Prince is hurting big time.
Okay, Dark Shrine's about to finish up, though. This is going to be one of those big moments, but it's important to note, there is no proxy pylon far out on the map or anything. It's just the bottom right-hand side, so
there's
these
a warp prism in the main
they're
base.
not going to... Oh, what?
There's a warp prism in the main base.
Oh my god, okay. I was like, oh, shoot, okay. That is going to cause some problems, because all of the Oracle energy just got used, and he's sending the Oracles back across the map. Need pull them back!
He can recall them at least, right? So get them home a little sooner. And then he's got 1 revelation for each mineral line. You drop 1, he gets it. That looked like it was about a miss, actually. 8 probes, okay. It brings Prince back in the game, but it's not going to lose Neeb his advantage, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand also making this a third Oracle over here. I would not have hated if he had... Okay, Adept's actually getting a bit more damage done over here. That is a little bit painful. I was going to say, I wouldn't have even hated if you just got up a Phoenix to just force the Warp Prism to recall back home, take the DTs home, and not have to worry about them for a little bit while he got up additional detection. But I understand, like, if there's another DT come in, you need another Revelation, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I actually think he popped the wrong spell as well, right? He popped double Guardian Shield trying to drop Revelation in the main. And that's why, I assume that's why the double Sentry had Guardian Shield up, so a little bit of a misclick on units there. Nib still has a lot of supply, but man, these DTs are still so annoying. I love that he got the extra Oracle, honestly. I do think it's needed. As right now, just, yeah, another one in the natural expansion. And he misses the Revelation!
Okay, he's got 3 Oracles. He should have enough energy for another one there. There it is. There's still that 1 DT in the Warp Prism. It does get picked up as the Oracles return, although they didn't actually have energy for Revelation there, but the Warp Prism does not want to stick around for too long on its own, so makes sense. It's going to go to the corner. If Nib could afford it, I would not hate a Phoenix.
I won't lie. I actually thought this was, I thought this was really, really good for Nib, and obviously this has done way more damage than I thought. It really just went on for so long. He's been torn one way then another repeatedly. And now Prince is getting a third base up, and the only thing he's behind in his army supply, which obviously naturally catches up over time here. He'll get an Immortal, he'll go toward +1. Oh no, Ravi, is this falling apart for your team? It might be.
It's not over yet, Wardy. It's not over yet. Nib still has a pretty scary number of Stalkers with Blink about to finish up. There's the Phoenix that forces the recall on the Warp Prism. There's only that 1 DT out on the map right now. So that plus the Oracles getting a little bit of damage done, picking off 2 more workers. Like, Nib isn't super far behind on economy just yet. That third base is still just kicking it in. And Nib even gonna be able to find the Dark Shrine and stuff on the bottom right-hand side. I don't think it's worth going there right now, but this number of Stalkers, I think with Blink, I think he should be able to actually potentially kill the third base over here.
Yeah, it should be. He needs to do some damage, and he's obviously setting up to do that. Obviously, doesn't have instant reinforcements. Oh, I love that Blink. He's going to get rid of the pylon. Oh, there was one more in the back, so a couple of units still warp in. But it did become a slow warp in. Love the Phoenix usage lifts. The Immortal Super Battery can't heal it. Now Super Battery is unpowered. Legend. And these Stalkers are going to put in some work. If nothing else, he's going to at least even up the work count in this game. I mean, he's just continuing to fight these Stalkers and looking wonderful while doing it. feardragon Nib is pushing forward.
The Oracle's in the main base also just massacring the mineral line, and he's going in. He goes after the Warp Prism. He gets the Warp Prism as well. Okay, well, Prince, he's going to be fighting back with a DT over here, but he lost so many workers. The Oracles, okay, one of them gets picked off. The second one still manages to survive. Nib comes in with the reinforcements, even throws down a stasis trap because that's how confident he's feeling since he still has enough energy for yet another Revelation. Throws down the Revelation, gets the DT. Only 1 DT left on the map. A second DT gets warped in over here, but Prince is really just holding on by a thread right now. Loses another DT. My God, Alex Thunderhaft, he strikes again. The Thundershaft comes rocketing down over here as Nib is looking so damn good right now.
He is looking really, really good as these Stalkers going to blink in, going to go for this Immortal. There is a Super Battery. He lifted up just to get rid of the DPS. And he is against the +1 upgrade right now, though, so might want to be a little careful. Obviously, he's back to that work lead, etc. So,
okay, yeah. Oh man, if Nib could afford it, I wouldn't even hate if he worked in a single Zealot or something, sent to the bottom right to start working away at the Dark Shrine and stuff, because that's really like. That's the tech that Prince has. He has the Dark Shrine, and he has like a robo to try and make some more of these Immortals. He doesn't actually have a whole lot, and there's not really a good way for him to go defend all the way in the bottom right-hand side against such a mobile army. So, yeah, wouldn't hate if he was able to afford something like that.
No, I wouldn't hate it at all, but you know what? He's up 6 workers, he's catching up on upgrades. He's on his way to charge in Temple Archives. Prince is going to try and go to Disruptors. I feel like Prince might die before he gets to Disruptors because I think Nib knows his advantage and will probably strike again with +1 Temple Archives and maybe like a Prism or so.
Yeah. Love these safety cannons that Nib did finally get up inside of all of his bases. Would not hate if he also just got up a shield battery over at that third base just in case he needs it, because I think he can afford it. Especially since he's going for a 4th base and everything is going for the long-term play right now, but he's heading over to that bottom right-hand side since I think the Oracle was diving all around and kind of knows that the army is still somewhat back at home. And oh, Prince is trying to get the angle that the Oracle retreat from, but Oracle actually just goes to the bottom right. And yeah, Neeb gonna stay alive, getting 6 workers, not bad.
Yeah, Neeb's got a severe advantage right now. Man, it was so scary. There was like 3 or 4 minutes where like DTs are just wrecking his mineral lines. But yeah, I think you've done it, feardragon. I'm gonna take this, my chance to say, good job on the wins. I hope you get no more wins in the rest of the tournament, because I really relied on you beating Ben and keeping Ben at 2 wins, and then being on 2 wins yourself, but then continuing to lose, so that my team has more of a chance to win. So I have had good reason to cheer for you, but this is maybe the last minutes of our friendship.
That's fair. You know, I can believe it. Dark Shrine is gonna get taken out. Also, I'm seeing an interesting question in chat. Someone's asking about where is DeMusliM right now.
Oh yeah, where is DeMusliM right now?
Just to read you guys, I think DeMusliM's the official statement is DeMusliM is currently playing AoE 4 tournament, and Wardy is stepping in today as his replacement. The foster father of this team, Benny and the boys, but it's a foster father that does not want his kids.
Oh, I was a sabotage father. If that's a thing.
Sabotage father.
Yeah. I didn't want them to win at all. It's absolutely best for my team if they lose. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, you're like the evil stepfather for Benny and the boys after Benny went out to go get cigarettes and never came home.
Oh yeah, Benny never came home, and then they got me instead. They've been in tears all day. Maru tried to fight back, but even he wasn't able to win. I mean, that's when you know it's bad in the Benny and the boys household.
All right. Disruptor hits. Oh, the first shot. Oh my God, that split. This is something only a former Terran player could do.
Phoenix.
Look at this. Lift ups from the Phoenix. Disruptors are invalid. Your army is invalid. Your team is invalid. Neeb comes in to snag the final W for 5 Shades of Protoss. Let's go! 3-2. Yeah. Woo! Neeb, looking so good right now. Hot damn.
Protoss team, so OP. Beautiful feardragon. Love it. That's exactly what we needed. Ben kept on 2 wins. Not in a great position. Catchable for the stasis wardies. Like I say, I would appreciate if you continue to lose. But at some point, you and CG still have to play, right, as well? So
yeah, we're actually on the final day, which is perfect because I think that is a fitting time.
You should talk to a team real good repeatedly in the interviews.
Yeah, absolutely.